I'm Bria Bryant, Global CMO at Assembly, and we are here in sunny Miami, Florida, very, very hot Miami, Florida, for the Possible 2026 conference. I am here with Monica Voss. Monica is the Vice President of Tech and Entertainment at the Harris Poll. The Harris Poll has one of the clearest reads on how consumers actually feel about the categories shaping our industry, and Monica is really in the middle of all of that work. So Monica, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm really excited about this conversation. I love to nerd out on data strategy.
Come to the right place.
Yes. All right, so from where you sit, what's consumer sentiment signaling right now about the tech and entertainment categories?
What we're really seeing, I think, with tech and entertainment around customer sentiment is just this lack of trust. There's a lot of things happening right now, like things, if you think about AI and the adoption of AI, and companies really leaning into wanting to move faster, wanting to have the newest content, wanting to have the best positioning, the newest brand, whatever it may be. I think the hardest part is that consumers feel like they're kind of being left in the dust. Like they don't really, there's a lot of concern right now around, what is AI doing? Where is it using? What kind of data is it pulling from? How is it building out this perception of me? And so what we've seen is that a lot of people are actually removing themselves almost more than like when social media kind of became something that not many people wanted to be a part of anymore. This similar trend where people are trying to almost like get offline or get away from the AI, like remove themselves from the algorithm. And so we've recently seen that like people want to go back to iPods. People want to watch movies on like a DVD. People want to buy, like they want to have in real life experiences again. And I don't know if that's like, because of COVID, because of AI, but there's just this lack of trust within the industry of what brands are doing and how truthful they're being and how open and transparent versus what consumers are really looking for.
Yeah, that's really interesting too, because I think that like, if you can touch it, if it's tangible, then it's real.
Yes.
And to your point, there's so much confusion and mistrust just on what we're seeing online. And if you look at the comments and on some of the social posts, they're like, is this AI? Is this AI? And so when you're able to get in real life and actually have those one-to-one connections with consumers, it really works.
You don't lose you're like, okay, I know you're a real human being.
Yeah,
I can see you, I can touch you. Yes,
exactly.
It's crazy, yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, so the relationship between consumers and AI is shifting fast, as we mentioned. What are brands getting right and what are they missing?
What we're seeing is, I think consumers, they don't mind AI. Like I think we're all going to have to adopt to AI. We know that there are benefits. There are lots of benefits to AI. I think what consumers really want is they want to know that the AI has been thought out. Like that brands aren't just jumping at it because it seems like something that's going to help. It's been researched. It's been pressure tested. It's gone through the whole process, and that the brand is also being transparent with the customer. Like you don't want to like. I think a lot of times I remember during the Super Bowl, like there were a lot of ads that were AI and there were a lot of ads that didn't have AI. But as soon as you started seeing some that had AI, you started to question everything. You're like, was that AI? Was this one AI? Like, what's AI? So I think it's just the messaging behind the brand and the use of the AI just needs to be transparent and it needs to feel thought out. It shouldn't be like a quick reaction, because as soon as it is that, it just becomes something that's likely going to fall apart, or like it's going to lose the trust of the customer, and that's all you want, is to just continue to build that trust with the people you're working with.
So one of the best ways to build trust is through fandom. And streaming content and fandom are really reshaping the entertainment conversation. What's the data telling you?
Data's telling us that fandom is extremely important right now. We've heard this term called microcultures a lot that's been thrown around recently, and essentially that's just like a little fandom. So if you're a content creator and something goes viral and you all of a sudden, like we've got FIFA World Cup coming up, and a lot of people are going to be fans of different teams, and you can think about it like they're from all different walks of life, all different polarizing like backgrounds and things like that, but being able to have that fandom of a sports team, and all of a sudden you're sitting shoulder to shoulder with somebody that you may never have even like had a conversation with, and that's fandom on a large scale. But I think a lot of times brands and entertainment and tech can miss out on capitalizing on those fandom moments. Like bringing, like if you think about like Squid Games, for example, when Squid Games came out, Netflix could have just left it on Netflix, but instead there were in real life activations and there was all this stuff where it just made the fans get together and realize and like connect with people. And I think that lack of connection, probably during COVID, and then it kind of grew, and now having those capitalized fandom moments really does help with the world we're living in these days.
Totally. And I think I've seen quite a few brands really invest in world building in a way that I haven't seen before. And I think it just goes back to your point about, this is one of those proven ways to start to build more fans and create more community around the brand. And make them feel like they're a part of something.
And making it authentic. I think like you can't really force fandom. Fandom has to be something that your consumer wants from you, and like that they've grown, and it's very organic. But again, just capitalizing on those moments and being like, wow, we've got something that's growing here. Okay, let's make it so that we can grow these fans, make this community, and then they kind of just like self-nurture almost. You're like, wow, like you guys you all continued to hang out even though this moment ended. But I really think that as we grow, the world becomes more diverse and polarizing and all of that having those moments of connection and capitalizing on them is key.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit more about the trust gap, because we've seen that it's persistent between brands and consumers. So what do you think will close that gap?
The biggest thing I think that will close that gap is messaging. Is making sure that you are like authentic. We've said these words a couple of times now, but I think the authenticity and just making sure that you treat your consumer like they're top of mind. Because right now we're with the economy and with everything that's going on, a lot of people I think are very concerned about what the world's going to look like. Will we have jobs? What will they look like? Will this stuff replace us? And we were just talking earlier about like if AI starts to replace all these jobs, where do you learn things? Where do you have skills that are built? And ultimately, where do you if you don't have people that can afford your products, what's the point of even having them? So it's this funny, it's like a double-edged sword of, we want to be more productive. We want tools to work really well, but we also want to feel like it's for the good of the people. And keeping the customer voice, keeping that pulse on reality and human beings is something that is lost very quickly in this world that we live in. And so making sure that we're looking at that. And it can genuinely be reflected in everything that you're doing.
So for CMOs who are planning right now, what advice would you give them?
I would recommend just talking to your consumers. Like we can so often, like I know that sometimes I put something out into the world and I'm like, this is the best thing in the entire world. And then, nobody really likes it. Or like, so nobody thinks that it's as funny as I think it. And I'm like, wait, what? Like that was so funny. I'm so good at this. But I'm my one brain, my one person, my one experience. And so putting the money and like the time and the energy into coming up with your messaging, coming up with your products, coming up with, whatever it is that you're creating, making sure that you're not just listening to yourself or you're not just listening to the people in the room that are familiar with the brand, that know it. You want to talk to people. You want to talk to the audiences that you want to target, and you want to make sure that they feel listened to. Open up the conversation. Don't make it one-sided. Don't be like, is this yes or no? Instead, do something that has a little bit more color behind it of being able to say like, okay, do you like this, yes or no? But then like, why? Give me some more context here. And building out your plan, I think, just involves keeping people in mind, especially these days.
And I'm a huge advocate of testing and learning.
Yes.
I love a test and learn. See if it works.
Yes.
And I also think you can't be afraid to take risks. No. Especially now, if you want to break through, you need to have a little appetite for risk. And the best way to test it out, see how it works, is with a test and learn.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we've recently studied is like, the messaging behind the brand is just as important. So like $1 or a missed opportunity, like people are more likely to give you grace if you've been transparent, if you've admitted, hey, we're testing this. Hey, we just want to throw this out there and see if this works. If it doesn't work, that's fine. But you're not just like, here, take this and it's going to be perfect. It's a test. It's we're marketing, A/B testing, like we do it all the time.
Right,
like
right.
that is, it's tried and true, and some things like they do work. So
Right.
yeah, keeping those in mind.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, or at least test it before you
Right,
do.
exactly. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been lovely.
It's been so much fun. Now, hopefully I can take this jacket off.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.